ومواكبة استقرارها وتنميتها الاقتصادية المستدامة. وهو ثانياً التعبير عن نضج الشراكة الاستراتيجية المغربية الأمريكية التي بقدر تطورها على المستوى الثنائي تسهم بشكل مباشر وفعال في خدمة الأمن والاستقرار في فضاءات جغرافية أخرى خاصة إفريقيا والشرق الأوسط. العلاقات المغربية الأمريكية تتميز بقوتها وغناها وريادتها على المستوى الإفريقي. فإذا كان من المعروف أن المملكة المغربية تاريخيا هي أول دولة اعترفت باستقلال الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، فإنها أيضا الدولة الإفريقية الوحيدة التي لها اتفاق تبادل الحر مع الولايات المتحدة، كما أنها من الدول التي تتوفر على شراكة استراتيجية متينة ومتعددة الأبعاد مع هذا البلد الصديق، شراكة تسمح اليوم بأن يمتد التعاون بكل ثقة وثبات ليشمل القارة الإفريقية برؤيتها. كما أن هذا التنظيم في المغرب يعد تكريسا لظهور المغرب الطبيعي كبوابة لإفريقيا، حلقة وصل مع شركائها العالميين كأوروبا والولايات المتحدة وأمريكا الجنوبية، وذلك لما تحظى به المملكة من ثقة ومصداقية على الصعيدين القاري والدولي. أصحاب الفخامة، أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، حضرات السيدات والسادة، إذا كان انعقاد هذا الاجتماع يتزامن مع فترة أمل في انتشار جائحة كوفيد، فإنه يصادف أيضا مرحلة يشهد فيها الاقتصاد العالمي اضطرابات عميقة طالت سلاسل الإنتاج والاستثمار والمبادلات، وأنتجت تضخما وضغوطا اقتصادية مثيرة للقلق، وهو ما يحدد أكثر من أي وقت مضى التمسك بالتعاون والشراكة كسبيل وحيد لضمان الأمن والسياسة وانسيابية التجارة والحفاظ على ثقة المستثمرين. وفي هذا السياق نعيش بالتحديات والتي يشهد إعادة تشكيل معالم الاقتصاد الدولي يبرز دور القارة الإفريقية باعتبارها خزانا للنمو بالنسبة للاقتصاد العالمي وحليفا قويا لشركائها الدوليين. فإذا كان الأمن الغذائي في صميم المشاريع العالمية اليوم، فإن إفريقيا تمتلك أكثر من 23% من الأراضي الزراعية في العالم، وهو ما يؤهلها لتكون من بين أهم الفاعلين في الأمن الغذائي. وإذا كان المستقبل هو للطاقات المتجددة، فإن القارة الإفريقية لديها إمكانيات شمسية تبلغ 10 ميجاوات و350 جيجاوات من الطاقة الكهربائية و110 جيجاوات من الطاقة الرياحية و15 جيجاوات من مصادر الطاقة الحرارية الأرضية. وإذا كان رأس المال البشري هو الثروة الرئيسية للاقتصاديات، فإن إفريقيا هي أكثر قارات العالم شمالا، وتكمن أكبر ثرواتها في سكانها التي ستصل حصتهم من البالغين سن العمل 42% بحلول عام 2000. وبفضل تصدر به القارة من رأس المال البشري والموارد الطبيعية، واعتبارا لسوقها المستقبلية المهيمنة والمترابطة بإطار منظمة التجارة الحرة القابلة للإفريقية والتجمعات الاقتصادية الإقليمية ونموها الاقتصادي البالغ معدل المستثمرية، فإن إفريقيا تمتلك مؤهلات تجعلها قادرة على مواجهة الأزمات وتمكنها من تعزيز سيادتها في القطاعات ذات الأهمية الاستراتيجية الكبرى كالصحة والأمن الغذائي والطاقة والبنية التحتية، بما يضمن تحقيق نمو شامل وتنمية عادلة ومنصفة. تستوجب هذه المقاربة أن يطلع الفاعلون الاقتصاديون الخواص بدورهم المحوري في احتياجات الاقتصاد، حيث أن الفاعلين الخواص يمثلون 80% من إجمالي الإنتاج في القارة وثلثي إجمالي الاستثمار. ومن الضروري تحفيز القطاع الخاص وفتح المجال بإمكاناته الفعالة من خلال المزيد من التمويل للشركات الصغرى والمتوسطة التي لا تتلقى حاليا إلا 10% من القروض المستثمرة. أصحاب الفخامة، أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، حضرات السيدات والسادة، لقد آن الأوان تجني إفريقيا ثمار مؤهلاتها وإمكاناتها العديدة وشبابها النابض بالحيوية، وتنهض بدور المحوري والطبيعي على الساحة الدولية وفي التطورات الكبرى الجارية على الصعيد العالمي. فإذا كانت الثروات والمؤهلات التي تزخر بها دول إفريقيا نعمة تصنع أيضا القارة وتفردها، فإنها أيضا مسؤولية على عاتق دولها وحكوماتها، وتحدي لروح الإبداع والمقاولة لدى فاعليها الاقتصاديين من أجل تحقيق المسار المفضي إلى النمو الشامل والتنمية المستدامة وتحقيق مقتضى انتصار الشعوب على آفة التخلف والفقر والاقتصاد كما قال صاحب الجلالة. ولم يسبق أن في حاجة أمس لما نحن إليه اليوم من أجل بناء اقتصاد إفريقي يتطلع إلى المستقبل يستمد قوته من اندماجه في منظومة التجارة العالمية وسلاسل القيمة الدولية، اقتصاد سليم ومتين يعطي الأولوية للتصنيع والتشغيل وخلق القيمة بما يكفل لقارتنا موقعا لائقا على الخارطة الاقتصادية الدولية. وهذا لن يتسمى إلا بشرطين: أولا قيام الدول الإفريقية بالإصلاحات الاقتصادية الضرورية لخلق مناخ الأعمال المناسب وقيام القطاع الخاص بدوره الوطني، وبجهة ثانية تعبئة الشركاء الدوليين للقارة لمواكبة برامج التنمية الدولية، فبالتوازي مع تعبئة جماعية كل البلدان الإفريقية لجعل اندماج رافع تحويل اقتصاداتها يقتضي التغاضي مع التحديات التي تواجهها القارة انخراطا عمليا وصادقا للشركاء الدوليين. إن لإفريقيا شراكات مع العديد من الفاعلين الدوليين، غير أن نجاح تلك الشراكات لا يجب أن يقاس أبدا بعدد برامجها واجتماعاتها، بل يجب أن يقاس بعدد المشاريع الملموسة التي تتمخض عنها، ويجب أن يقاس بأثرها الفعلي على مسارات التنمية في الدول الإفريقية. فكما قال جلالة الملك محمد السادس: إن قارتنا ليست في حاجة للمساعدات بقدر ما تحتاج لشراكات ذات نفع متبادل. فإفريقيا تحتاج اليوم إلى شركاء دوليين فاعلين حقيقيين، شركاء يرافقون ولا يبنون، شركاء يبنون على المدى الطويل ولا يقتصرون على استخدام الفرص قصيرة الأجل. كما يجب إعطاء أهمية خاصة لتمويل المقاولات الصغيرة جدا. لذا نقترح إرساء آلية تتبع تنفيذ المشاريع المتمخضة عن الشراكة الأمريكية وخلق تسهيلات لبلوغ التمويلات وفق مقاربة تضع مصدرها ضمان النجاح والفعالية في التعامل مع المشاريع لبلوغ نتائج ملموسة وتحقيق التطور القابل للقياس، بما يسهم في تطوير العلاقات الاقتصادية المثمرة بين الولايات المتحدة والدول الإفريقية. أصحاب الفخامة، أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، إن المغرب بقيادة جلالة الملك محمد السادس يعتز بالانتماء إلى قارة إفريقيا ويؤمن بمستقبلها إخلاصا لانخراطه الدائم في بناء الوحدة الإفريقية منذ سنة 1961. فإن المغرب ماض في تعبئته المتواصلة من أجل انبثاق قارة إفريقية واثقة من إمكانياتها ومنفتحة على المستقبل، وفاء للالتزام الذي قطعه جلالة الملك محمد السادس بنهج سياسة متناسقة ومتكاملة تجاه أشقائنا الأفارقة ترتكز على الاستثمار المشترك في الثروات والنهوض بالتنمية البشرية وتعزيز التعاون الاقتصادي. لذا فإن المغرب جعل التعاون الثلاثي في صلب العمل المشترك مع الولايات المتحدة وإفريقيا، إيمانا بأن روابط الثقة والتعاون التي تجمع المغرب بكل منهما لابد أن تستثمر في دينامية خلاقة للتنمية على أساس التكامل وتضافر الإمكانيات والجهود. كما حكى جلالة الملك العديد من المناسبات، فإذا كان شمال المغرب يمثل حلقة الوصل مع الشركاء في أوروبا، فإن الأقاليم الجنوبية للمملكة مؤهلة لتكون بمصدر العلاقات المغربية الإفريقية الأمريكية لا سيما على المستوى الاقتصادي. كما أن الولايات المتحدة التي بدأت أن تساند قضايا القارة الإفريقية منذ استقلالها كانت ولا تزال شريكا مهما لإفريقيا، شركات يتقاسم معها جزءا من تاريخها وجزءا من جغرافيتها كذلك عبر المحيط الأطلسي، ويتعاون مع دولها قرى وجماعات في جميع الميادين وعلى جميع المستويات. وإني واثق من أن الدول العلاقات الإفريقية الأمريكية لها اليوم من المؤهلات والأرقام ما يمكنها من الإسهام النوعي في الإقلاع الإفريقي المشترك والاستثمار الأمثل لأوجه التكامل والتناصر بين الجميع. ونأمل أن يكون اجتماعنا هذا علامة تحول كبرى في مسار الشراكة الأمريكية في مجال الأعمال والتجارة والاستثمار، بما يدعم دور القطاع الخاص والفاعلين الاقتصاديين ويسهم في إنشاء القمة الأمريكية الإفريقية المرتقبة في دجنبر 2022 وإغماء أجندتها. أتمنى النجاح لهذا المنتدى وأشكركم على حسن إصغائكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
My deepest appreciation to His Excellency the Minister for those wonderful remarks, and I must also add our gratitude for the tremendous partnership of his ministry team for their remarkable work to make this summit a reality. I now invite the Honorable Alice Albright, the CEO of the Millennium Challenge Corporation of the United States, to the podium to introduce a video message from Her Excellency the Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris. Good morning. I'm just delighted and honored to be heading a delegation from the United States to the 14th Annual U.S. Africa Business Summit, where I'm joined by senior leaders across the U.S. government. As the CEO of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC, one of the 17 government agencies that contributes to Prosper Africa initiative, I'm so excited to be here in Marrakesh to feature our partnership, both with the government of Morocco and also to meet with so many partners from across the continent. I'd like to extend my warm thanks to Lori and everybody at the Council, the Corporate Council on Africa, as well as to the government of Morocco for bringing us all together, and all of the other government and private sector partners who traveled to Marrakesh for this very important summit. I have more to say about the work that lies ahead over the next 2 days, but before I do, I want to introduce a very, very special guest who could not be with us here in person, but also who wanted to extend her warm support for and reinforce the importance of this gathering. Colleagues, it is now my distinct honor to introduce the Vice President of the United States, Vice President Kamala Harris, who will be joining us by video.
Greetings from Washington, D.C. I want to thank the Corporate Council on Africa, the Kingdom of Morocco, and His Majesty King Mohammed for hosting the 2022 U.S. African Business Summit. I'm honored to participate in this opening ceremony. President Joe Biden and I recognize the critical importance of strengthening our relationship with countries across Africa. To that end, I will start with some very important things. President Biden and I are looking forward to welcoming leaders from across the African continent to Washington, D.C. from December 13th through the 15th for the United States Africa Leaders Summit. This summit will demonstrate America's enduring commitment to our African partners, and it will be based on principles of mutual respect and shared interests and values. And a critical part of this summit will be to bolster our economic relationship. Which brings me to the importance of this gathering of public and private sector leaders in Marrakesh. I believe in the power of public-private partnerships that bring together the experience and the expertise of the private sector, with the mission of government to act for the public good and with the public trust, and the reach and capacity that governments can give uniquely to any endeavor. By working together, we can unleash growth and opportunity that far exceeds what either the public or private sector can achieve on its own. And as everyone here knows, there is so much opportunity for economic growth in Africa and, of course, in the United States when we collaborate and coordinate. Africa is the world's fastest growing continent. By 2030, the continent will have 1.7 billion people, home to 1/5 of the world's population. The continent also is increasingly young, urban, and connected. There is a growing demand for food, healthcare, education, technology, and infrastructure. Yet, barriers remain. Limited access to capital, the high cost of financing, and legal and regulatory bottlenecks. This is on top of the global challenges that I know are felt acutely in Africa, including recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, climate crisis, and food insecurity. The Biden-Harris administration is committed to working with all of you to address these issues in furtherance of the African Union's Agenda 2063. With regard to food insecurity, we are focused on the urgent need to increase food production and exports with and within Africa, a challenge made worse by Putin's war in Ukraine. To this end, since last October, the United States has pledged more than $7 billion in humanitarian and food security assistance across Africa. More broadly, our administration's goal is to promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth and development across the continent, to expand capital flows, and to promote the vibrant spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation that is so prevalent across Africa. I am pleased to see the advances made in implementing the African Continental Free Trade Area, and we will work with you to ensure its success. The United States is committed to bring to bear all the tools at our disposal, including development financing, grants and technical assistance, and support for legal and regulatory reforms, all to help our African partners thrive. As part of this, our signature investment initiative in Africa, Prosper Africa, has convened a delegation to be with you in Marrakesh, led by Millennium Challenge Corporation CEO Alice Albright. It includes officials from 10 U.S. government departments and agencies. It also includes a group of investors who collectively manage more than $8 trillion in assets. Over the coming days, our delegation will discuss with you a range of issues. This includes work to advance our new global infrastructure initiative and our work to mobilize hundreds of billions of dollars for high-quality, sustainable infrastructure investment. It also includes our effort to expand Power Africa, one of our largest public-private partnerships in the world. This work will increase access to electricity, support a just energy transition, and more. This week's convening is very important. When everyone is at the table, we are better able to collaborate, coordinate, and identify new opportunities. So I wish you a productive summit in Marrakesh. This work will benefit United States-African business ties and diplomatic ties. And most importantly, it will benefit both the people of Africa and the people of the United States. Thank you.
As you just heard the Vice President say, we are all here, all invested in creating more pathways to prosperity across the African continent. Through Prosper Africa, the U.S. government's initiative to increase trade and investment and promote sustainable development across the continent and our collective efforts, we are strengthening partnerships to ensure that people on both sides of the Atlantic have the opportunity to create a better life for their children, their families, in their communities and to realize their full potential. Since Prosper Africa was launched 2 years ago, the U.S. government has supported 800 two-way trade investment deals covering 45 different countries with an estimated value of $50 billion. Yet, we can and we must do more. From the pandemic to the recovery from its devastating economic impact to the climate crisis, Africa is essential to our collective progress as we work to tackle the complex challenges of the day. The Biden-Harris administration has made deepening our engagement with Africa a priority. The United States is committed to further strengthening our partnerships to foster inclusive and sustainable economic growth and prosperity, expand opportunities for bilateral trade and investment, and promote respect and shared values. That is why we are continuing to work to build stronger ties with our African partners, to catalyze infrastructure investments and public-private partnerships across the African continent. We will also continue to work to support efforts to accelerate policy and regulatory reforms that are needed to attract investment. The U.S. government is committed to leveraging the full suite of tools in its toolkit, capitalizing on the unique skills of departments and agencies across our government, many of whom are here today, including MCC, the agency that I have the honor of being in charge of, as well as the U.S. Trade and Development Agency, the U.S. Africa Development Foundation, the Departments of State, Agriculture, and Commerce, the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative, the U.S. Agency for International Development, and the United States Export-Import Bank, as well as Prosper Africa and Power Africa, all helping to harness the power of the U.S. private sector as well towards our shared goals. At the recent G7 summit meeting in Germany, leaders formally announced the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment, known as PGII, to mobilize hundreds of billions of dollars and deliver quality, sustainable infrastructure that makes the difference in people's lives around the world. The United States aims to mobilize $200 billion for PGII over the next 5 years for grants, financing, and leveraging private sector investments. Through Prosper Africa and the work of the departments and agencies represented here today, we will work to deliver on PGII's promise by catalyzing investment across the African continent. MCC's distinct goal is to reduce poverty through inclusive and sustainable economic growth. We do this through a shared partnership based on a model that pairs large-scale investments in critical infrastructure with policy and institutional reforms that together will attract private sector investment. We are building on long-standing partnerships with African partners through which the United States has made significant investments that have helped create 21st century jobs for African youth across the continent, deliver clean water and sanitation, help fight disease, made transportation more efficient through the construction of hundreds of kilometers of roads, improved agricultural yields by bringing irrigation to farmers, and increased access to reliable electricity for households and businesses alike. We've also increased our focus on strengthening resilience to global shocks and working with our African partners to help enhance their capacity to work with their people through investments in gender equity as a driver of inclusive growth, climate adaptation and mitigation, infrastructure, and digital technologies that have the potential to transform healthcare, financial services, agribusiness, and so much more. We all know that the impact that we can have when governments and the private sector work together to tackle the challenges of the 21st century. And that is what we are here to do. Build new partnerships, explore new opportunities, to work together to address the challenges of the day today and those not yet before us, and to deliver on the promise of creating opportunities for a better life for future generations. Thank you all again for your continued partnership. Let's have a wonderful conference. And let me thank again the government of Morocco for its wonderful hospitality and all of our friends at CCA, Corey and all your team and your board. You've done a wonderful job. Thank you so much for all our work. Thank you.
What an exciting announcement by Vice President Kamala Harris of the days of the U.S. Africa Leaders Summit in December, and her reinforcement of the importance of this summit here in Marrakesh to build on the benefits of trade, investment, and commercial engagement with the people of Africa as well as the United States. And CEO Albright, thank you for your remarks, and may I commend the Millennium Challenge Corporation for its excellent work globally and particularly here in Africa. We now turn to a video from Morocco Now, the Moroccan Investment and Export Agency.
Now is the time to ask the right questions. In any endeavor, there's always the ground and the tipping point. Ensure stability for a high economy takeoff. People's trust toward their leaders and towards their will to uplift their societies. Investing in people to a better life. Giving them opportunities to develop their skills, their goals, and their vision to the world. Building infrastructure to connect with them and reach the world. Openness and make sure you have partners to join with. And then there's the convenience. It could be your history, it could be your diversity, it could be how strategically you're located, it could be your culture, it could also be your dedication, or it could be your natural resources. But first and foremost, to reach the heights, you need a vision, great ambitions, stabilities, and stick to the plan, build on the assets, and embrace the new. Keep on rolling tracks to face challenges. Always make sure you can feel the growth. And that you have partners to overcome drawbacks together. Now is the time to be ahead. Now is the time for agility and sustainable acts. Now is your turn.
That was a very energizing video underscoring the need for strategic vision to drive investment and economic development. I now invite to the podium Mr. Shakib Al, President of the General Confederation of Moroccan Enterprises, CGE.
Is fortunate of the U.S. Africa Business Center and the high patronage of His Majesty King Mohammed VI in the fire. My other thanks to the Government Council of Africa for choosing Morocco and the beautiful city of Marrakesh to hold this important forum that gathers more American and African stakeholders along a stronger, innovative, and innovative U.S. Africa partnership. Referring to the income topic given to this edition, we think forward together. Makes perfect sense considering the challenging global context. Joining our forces to drive our cooperation is indeed essential to our representative countries' growth and prosperity, but also to face uncertainty. It is actually the only way to have this. It is inevitable because we are seeing that the COVID-19 took its toll on the world economy and the African economy was lost. The pandemic generated the deepest global recession in decades, despite the tremendous effort of governments to counter the shock. I would like to seize this opportunity to commend the strong health cooperation between African countries and immense support in the fight against COVID-19. This sense of solidarity should be reconfirmed now in the economic field. While the world is yet to fully recover from the socio-economic impact of the pandemic, the Russia-Ukraine conflict was all the major economic trends, and has become unprecedented rise of inflation under the pressure of food, energy, and major commodity prices. According to the World Bank, global growth is expected to fall from 5.7% in 2021 to 2.9% in 2022, significantly lower than 4.1% that was anticipated. This situation would be a major threat to the effort undertaken by developed countries to build a resilient economic recovery and to eradicate value chains. It would also compromise the outstanding progress made by the African continent. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the best time to provide that is now. If there are still doubts and questions about Africa's ability to be at the center of the recovery dynamic, new industrial value chain, I will try to answer them. Enabled by quick technological change and demographic transition, the continent enjoys a huge business potential that unfortunately remains underestimated. One in 4 citizens of the world will be African by 2050, representing a combined force of 2.5 billion consumers. Half of this population will be under 25 and very well connected. It is indeed a huge opportunity, but also a big challenge that we can only address by creating more and more jobs. The continent has also a large quantity of natural resources with an important potential of local transformation. These assets make Africa not only very competitive, but the continent of the future. Especially if you take into consideration the implementation of the African continental free trade, which provides immediate access to a market of 1.2 billion. This free trade area will connect African market, knowing that trade between African countries of Africa's export trade. It will also accelerate the construction of new complementary industrial ecosystem linked to global value chain. Speaking about value chain, I believe that we should operate a shift in paradigm in identifying the right complementaries between African countries as well as between the United States and Africa, and start thinking beyond the made in Africa to build together the made in Africa. This dimension needs to be largely discussed. We will make sure to address it in detail this afternoon during the roundtable organization session. Ladies and gentlemen, building forward together means looking in the same direction and sharing the same ambitions. Fair trade, free competition, more innovation for an inclusive, sustainable growth. Building forward together means also doing more business together with the leadership of his Spanish-speaking partners. Morocco was a pioneer in believing and investing in multiple sectors: banking, insurance, infrastructure, energy, agriculture, developing agricultural partners. Along with the building sector, private companies have indeed an essential role to play in solving Africa's biggest challenges, such as energy, education, digital transformation. Moroccan companies are ready to work hand in hand with American and African partners in order to accelerate this. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, energy is a crossroad of all sectors, and it is essential to building Africa's value chain. The continent has abundant renewable resources such as hydropower, wind, and solar that can be turned into a very competitive and green energy to cover continent's need, but also to be exported. It is a huge opportunity to seize. On the other hand, empowering Africa in terms of food security is essential. It mainly starts with increasing agricultural productivity, transforming the raw product locally for higher added value creation, reducing barrier to trade, boosting competitiveness of agricultural businesses, expanding the availability of agriculture to modern technologies. The presence of leading companies playing the role of aggregators is fundamental to this protection. OCP Africa, for instance, acted on this matter by becoming a strategic partner for African farmers. Another challenge is health and social security for the African population. The rapid demographic growth of the continent requires the upgrading of health systems while providing resilience. The sector of education and higher education in Africa offers multiple business opportunities as well that the whole continent will benefit from. A well-trained human capital is fundamental to competitiveness factor in the development of sustainable industry. For instance, Morocco has succeeded in building strong ecosystem in agriculture and automotive thanks to important and continuous investment in training programs for education. And finally, Africa is more and more a place for innovation and technology, thanks to its youth and its energetic entrepreneurial population. According to a report of Google and the International Finance Corporation, the African internet economy has the potential to grow to $180 billion, roughly 5.2% of the country by 2025. Investment can be directed to building reliable internet access throughout the continent, to supporting African businesses in their digital transformation, and to funding African entrepreneurs and startups. Ladies and gentlemen, building forward together requires, before all, knowing each other, trusting each other more, believing our respective potential and capacity. Moving forward together also means a mindset shift to stop seeing Africa as a problem and start seeing it as a solution. I truly believe that this is the basis for 21st century US-Africa. The world is changing faster than ever before. Now it's time to plan. Now it's time to act. As our American friends say, action speaks louder than words. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Owens. Thank you to CGEM for being one of our private sector partners here in Morocco, helping us to organize this summit. I now have the honor of inviting to the podium Dr. Achimwumi Adesina, President of the African.
Your Majesty, King Mohammed VI, may God help and bless you. Your Excellency, my dear Madam President Masisi of Botswana, Your Excellency, Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, we're delighted that she was able to join us here by video. That gave us a lot of energy looking forward to the meeting in Washington. Your Excellencies, Prime Ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here today for the US-Africa Business Summit, thanks to the courtesy of Corporate Council on Africa and my dear sister, Florine Lisa, President and CEO of the Corporate Council on Africa, a dear sister and a friend of Africa. I wish to congratulate His Majesty, King Mohammed VI, and the government of the Kingdom of Morocco for hosting this summit. Morocco is a great example of the power of vision, dynamism, and opportunities that exist in Africa. Morocco has the world's largest concentrated solar power plant, known as that, which was financed by the African Development Bank. The OCP of Morocco is the largest producer of phosphates in the world. A walk to Morocco's Tangier port, a world-class port surrounded by industrial manufacturing parks, charts now over 350,000 cars annually to Europe and to the rest of Africa. In Nigeria, the Dangote urea plant is the largest urea plant in the world, while its orange